So believe it or not, in the earliest part of 2020, I went dead broke. And what I'm about to show you guys is actually what brought my finances back alive. What is up, guys? This is KOJOFOREX, aka GBP Legend, aka Sniper Trader, aka King of Blues. I'm here again to teach you another interesting thing that actually saved my life, I should say, in the earliest part of 2020 when things went sour for me. So yeah, when 2020 began, I was actually doing very good, standing in a good position until things turned around. I had an accident, I lost my brother, family pressure was on me, I had to support my family. I spent a lot of money to actually take care of a lot of stuff, repairing my car, my accident car, eventually even the money to bury my brother, right, my late brother, may he so rest in peace. I had to now get my feet back up, and then the only way I could do that, because obviously I was a full-time trader since then, was to face the market, right? I had nowhere to actually go get money. I wasn't in any gainful employment. I couldn't take my certificate and now go look for a job just because I'm at a low point in my life. It was the market that was feeding me. It was my trading account, everything. So I had to just get back to my trading, right? And then I'm going to even give you a little bit of history about how KOJOFOREX community began. So most of you don't even know how the KOJOFOREX community began. This is perhaps a history class to teach you how the community actually began. So yeah, like I told you, I was really in the low point in my life, right? I literally had no money. I literally had no money. All I had was my car eventually when it got repaired, and then some few foods in my fridge, right? And then no money at all. But I had like two cars then, right? I had my Dodge Caliber, and then I was then also driving a Toyota Yaris. I intended to sell the Dodge Caliber. So what happened was that I had a good friend lend me 3,000 Ghana cedis, which is equivalent to about $490, right? In hopes that when I sell the car, then I can balance him back his money. Now, I was torn between actually keeping this money in my bank account and then spending it gradually, or actually putting it onto the market and then risking it. So this is where sometimes as human beings we need good counseling. So I hit my brother up, Joe Trader. I'm going to put his YouTube link in the description. I hit him up that, bro, with this low point in my life, the only money that I've got is this 3,000 that I just got from this friend. So what do you want me to do? Should I just keep it so that I'll be spending a little by little, or should I put it on the market because things are really turning sour against me? It's like, bro, you've got the skills, you've got the knowledge, you've got the whole talent in trading, you've got the, you just know so much not to be utilizing it. Put the money on the market and then just go hard on it. Let's see what happens. If we lose it, we lose it. If you make money, you make it. I'm like, okay, fine. This is a very deep thing, so I'm going to do that. Back then, XNET had a very seamless way of depositing money and then withdrawing. If you're in Ghana, right, we had the mobile money means. So I'm like, I'm going to put that money into my trading account through mobile money. So once I deposit with mobile money, it means that I can actually also withdraw with mobile money, right? So I put that 3,000 Ghana cedis in the trading account, which was equivalent to, let's say, 490, a little bit shy of $500. And then what I plan to do, rather than my usual swing trade, take one trade and then wait for it to catch more pips, I'm like, no, I'm not going to go into this way. I'm going to be targeting one setup at a time and then leverage significantly, not exposing all my account to that trade, right? Not exposing all my account to that trade, but significant, at least like 15 to 20% at a time. And then I was just targeting to make at that time not less than 1,000 Ghana cedis per day. You understand? It was a target. It was a very difficult target, but it was a challenge. And then that's what trading is about. You got to get to that point where sometimes you can actually take on the risk on your shoulders, right? If you're not ready to take on the risk on your shoulders, you cannot change anything in your life in trading. So I'm like, I'm going to be making 1,000 Ghana cedis, which is literally about $165 per day. And then I'm going to be using like a day trading tactics rather than what a swing trading tactics. Also, it's going to be targeting one trade at a time, right? So one trade at a time. So I deposited this money, set up my trading account, everything on XNET, and then boom, the whole journey began. So not to even keep you in suspense, what happened with that account is that with that 3,000 in 2 weeks, or perhaps even less than 2 weeks, I actually grown that account to 20,000 Ghana cedis, right? That was incredible, right? Within a short span of time, grew that account to 20,000 plus, right? And I did an Instagram live showing people the history of the account, showing them how I actually, you know, keep making money. And I was showing them my withdrawal history all the time, right? I was always showing them my withdrawal history. That account went on to grow more than 100,000. But what you should remember is that at every instance, I kept withdrawing, right? That is where most beginners actually get it wrong, right? At every instance where I made my money, I kept withdrawing, right? Now let me explain to you practically the concept behind how I was using to grow that account, right? So if you have done any accounting, or perhaps you haven't even done accounting, but you have every little idea about how, you know, petty cash works, right? Let me show you what in finance or in accounting, right? Petty cash is basically like a buffer cash where an accountant is given the responsibility to spend it, but anytime it goes below a certain amount, they have to replenish it, right? So let's say an accountant is given, let's say $3,000 or Ghana cedi, whichever currency you want to look at this in, right? Let's say he keeps spending. He spends, let's say 100. He spends, let's say 500. He spends, let's say another 400, right? That's basically he spending what, about 1,000. Now his petty cash balance is left with what, 2,000, right? He is required to replenish this petty cash balance. We should always say that 3,000 plus what, 1,000 at the end of a certain period, and then keep up again. So I was trading my trading account like a petty cash, but in a reverse mode. Let me show you what I meant by in a reverse mode. So my daily target, like I said, was to make anything above 1,000 Ghana cedis, right? My daily target was to make anything above 1,000 Ghana cedis. Now, how was I doing that? In the sense that I was using my strategy, which we're going to go into, but let's look at the mathematics aspect. Now, the trading account was Ghana cedis 3,000. Right, to deal with it in a petty cash format, I made my mind that any day, any amount of profit that is made on this 3,000 has to be withdrawn. So every single day, I got to start with a fresh balance of 3,000 Ghana cedis. Right now, that was a very interesting concept that I used to grow this account insane. So when I start the day and I trade, you know, which I'm going to show you most of the trade histories on the screens, right? So when I start the day and I trade, then let's say in this particular day, I make, let's say, plus 1,200 Ghana cedis. Eventually the account is sitting at what, 4,200, right? Quickly I process a withdrawal of what, 1,200 Ghana cedis. Then this money goes into my bank account. Then the 3,000 begins what, the trading begins as a trading account balance for the next day. Then the next day I go again, right? So here the next day, so let's say perhaps this is even Monday, right? Tuesday, the account is again starting at what, 3,000. Let's say Tuesday I couldn't really hit the target, I hit 500, right? So the account is going to start at what, 3,500. Now, believe it or not, I'm going to withdraw that 500 because I know that the rule says I should start every new fresh day as 3,000, right? So this is where you as a trader has to be reasonable to know that what, expectation is always different from reality. Even though I said that my daily target was more than 1,000, you cannot be making more than 1,000 Ghana cedis every day because every opportunity is not going to be the same, right? So let's say here I made another money. Now the trick here is that, let's say on Wednesday, right, things went sour, which is bound to happen in trading. Not every time is going to be profit. Things went sour, and then this particular day I lost, let's say 900, right? So I'm going to be left with what, which actually happened during the course of the trading period, right? Then I'm going to be left with what, 2,100. Now what I have to do is that unless I trade this account back up, my main goal will be trading this 2,100 back up to 3,000, right? Unless I get to 3,000, there's no point in withdrawing. Where am I going to withdraw, or what profit am I withdrawing? You get it? So here I'm going to be trading. So let's say even on Thursday, right? On Thursday, then I am able to make, let's say 1,500, right? So I make 1,500. That takes our balance to what? 3,600. So what it means is that on Thursday my withdrawal is going to be only 600 Ghana cedis, right? I put the 600 into what? My bank account. Now this 500 would also go into my bank account. So even within a week, then I would have closed. Let's say if Friday also did go well, right? Let's do for Friday as well. Friday, let's say on Friday we start again with 3,000, and then Friday we made, let's say, 700, or let's say 2,000, because there were times where I used to make 2,000 Ghana cedis, right? On Friday I made 2,000, right? So our account balance is sitting at 5,000. I have to process a withdrawal of what, the 2,000, which will go into my bank account, and then I'll be left with 3,000 for the next week, right? Now at the end of the week, if you do the whole calculation, then I've literally added what to my bank account? 1,200 plus 500 from Tuesday minus 900 from Wednesday, but it didn't actually affect what we had here because I had to grow that money back up. Then plus what we did on Thursday of 1,500, and then plus what, 2,000 on Friday. So at the end of the day, or at the end of the week, what actually would be sitting in my bank account is what? 5,200, right? Which is very, very huge when you come to Ghana, right? And then even if you're dealing in dollars, that's literally making about $1,200 in a week, right? So this was a very significant strategy that I was actually following to grow that 3,000. And then, like I told you in the video, I actually followed this to grow this account to well over 20,000, 40,000, and then over 100,000 plus, right? Now coming back to the history of how KOJOFOREX community was formed, as I kept, growing this money, making a lot of money, withdrawing, just going up, growing, my finances were so strong, back on my feet again. I had other investors also, reaching out, because by then I was still, quite popular out there in the Instagram space, right? So I had a lot of people reaching out because I kept posting my results. They want me to manage the accounts for them. They want me to trade the account for them. I was meeting up with several of my personal investors, and then, things just changed from there. And then not long, then we had Corona hitting the world, right? And then a lot of my friends were actually losing their money, and then some of them got laid off from their work. Some of them kept just going down the hill. Most of them kept reaching out to me to just teach them how to trade, or perhaps set them up so that they can be also profiting alongside with me, with how my trades keeps with how I just keep making a lot of money on the market. Just set them up and then show them how to also make money from the market, since the world is in a downturn. We've never experienced this in our generation before. So that was when I set KOJOFOREX community up on 13th of April 2020. That was the inspiration to set a community up, so that people would also benefit from what I had to offer the world. And then it was very incredible moment from there. April, May, June till now, right? This is how you've seen the community grow. But we had incredible results, which we still do have. But during Corona period, right, in the lockdown period, for some strange reasons, there were so many opportunities on the market, seamless opportunities that were very enticing to make a lot of money. So we made incredible amount of money than even we are experiencing in 2021, right? 2020, even though the world was facing all those troubles, KOJOFOREX community was like one of the avenues to want to save your life and then your family's life. And then that is what has brought us till today, right? So now let's go to the strategy part. Like I told you, it was basically one kill at a time, right? So let's say I am targeting USD JPY, right? The whole week I'm going to be having my eyes on USD JPY, right? Now if you look at this market, it actually started trading this week from here. So what I'll do usually is that, let's say my eyes is on USD JPY, or my markup is surrounded around USD JPY. What I want to do is, let's say in this trade I perceive that we're going to make what, a retracement, right? So USD JPY, I'm targeting us to make this retracement into the 61.8 and then 50% retracement region, right? And then indeed we come into that region here. You can see that clearly that we are into that 61.8, and then 50% retracement region here. That becomes a very solid setup for me, making sure I'm trying to enter here and then put my stop loss here. That is if I am swing traded. But because I am day trading, I want a significant moment where I feel like there is momentum in the market. And then how do I spot on momentum? After perhaps we have had this bearish closure, after this, fake out wick here, trying to take people out, and then we close strongly bearish here, then I'm trying to, enter within that moment so that particular candle even closes, and then keep on adding on positions until perhaps we have this candle also closing. And then that is me focusing just solely on USD/JPY until my money is made or my target is hit before I close the chart and then wait for the next setup the next day, right? Now you must understand that with the 3,000, I had a very well calculation for that, right? Remember that it was just around $500, right? So what it means is that when I play 0.10, it means that give or take per pip value, then I'll be making $1 because I put on 0.1, give or take every pip movement is going to make me $1. So it means that when I put on 5 of this, right, which is 0.01 plus 0.01, plus 0.10 plus 0.10 plus 0.10, it means that give or take every pip movement I'm going to be making plus or minus $5, right? Every pip movement. So if the market goes against me 3 pips, that's going to be me being in drawdown of what, $15. And then if I go in profit of 3 pips, then I'm going to be making what, plus what, $15. So I kept up with this for a long time, knowing exactly my calculation. So with this data I've given you, with this parameter that I've given you, what I'll usually do is that once the setup is brewing up, then I would measure my risk. Let's say I want to enter here. I'm measuring that, okay, this is about what, 20 pips. So it means that if I lose, right, if I put on 0.1 and then that trade 0.10 and then that trade goes against me at 20 pips, then I'm going to be losing $20. So I calculate this in my mind and know that with that little account balance of what, let's say $500, I don't want to lose $100, right? So it means that with that particular setup, I can't trade more than 0.50. If I'm adding 0.1, it got to be like just 5 of that, not more than that, because 5 of that is exactly what is going to take out $100 from my account at a stop loss of what, 20 pips. You get the math that is behind it. And then I tackle this one day at a time, right? Now let's look at another last setup with this, right? Let's look at another example. That setup will be AUD card. Now in the AUD card example, this is literally like, a retail knowledge. Like everybody's literally seeing what, the trend line, the market trading alongside the trend line, and then eventually it breaks out of the trend line. This is exactly the region where I'm trying to jump in on the market, right? It's very simple, right? Now that I'm trying to jump in on the market, you know what I'll do first, right? Calculate my risk. So I measure that range where I'm trying to jump in and say, okay, perhaps maybe I'm jumping after this bearish candle, and that is how many pips and stops. That is about, let's say, again 15 pips or 16 pips and stop. It means that when I put on 0.1 and then this trade goes against me at 15 pips, then I'm going to be losing what, $15. Then I know exactly how many lot sizes in terms of 0.1 that I got to put so that I don't lose anything more than what, $100. That is if that is what I want to expose onto the market for that particular day. And then I'll tackle the 0.1, and then trade along this market until I hit my target, which is anything above that 1,000 Ghana cedis. And then what do? I close the trades, process withdrawal, and then transfer that 1,000 Ghana cedis into my bank account, right? So that was a very significant moment that changed most of the down days for me in 2020. I believe you guys really love this deep content. If you didn't follow this video clearly and then understood the concept that I'm sharing, perhaps you must watch it for a second time, and then things are going to be, in fact, much more clearer, right? So without wasting much time, this is a very detailed video. Make sure to smash the like button if you enjoyed it. Subscribe to this channel if you haven't already. Click on the link in the description to join the Telegram community, and then follow me on all social media at KOJOFOREX, right? I'll be bringing you much more detailed content that is going to improve your trading life and trading career in the course of every day till the year ends, right? So without wasting my time, I'll see you guys in the next YouTube video. Peace out.